Todd Monken was the offensive coordinator. We mentioned that. Some of the reports circulating are Jim Harbaugh was let go because he would not replace Todd Monken as his offensive coordinator. Daryl Ruiter, with some of the things that he sees as potential red flags involving Todd Monken.
They hired a guy who has openly admitted he didn't do a good job with Lamar Jackson, a two-time NFL MVP, okay? And he's now coming here to work with Shedeur Sanders and whoever else they're going to have in that room. I mean, this is a quote from the Baltimore Ravens team website. This is state in-house media, okay?
This is from the end of the season, right?
Yes. Quote, I didn't coach Lamar well enough. I didn't have as good of a relationship as I could have. Red flag.
Yeah.
I didn't do the things we needed to do this year to win enough games to give ourselves a chance. Red flag. I believe that Lamar and I, to me, had a good relationship. Could it have been better? Of course. Red flag. Lamar and I had never had an issue. I don't know where that comes from. Red flag. And now he's your head coach of the Cleveland Browns.
Well, you can read that in a number of ways, Lance. I would say he's taken accountability for why the offense didn't succeed, but be that as it may.
Well, I was just talking with Daryl. Everybody has their own opinion on this, and I look at this differently than Daryl. Though I respect a lot of what Daryl does because he works very hard at his craft. I think this really comes for me his ability not to be a red flag for Lamar Jackson. I don't think that's necessarily the case. I agree with you. He took all the ownership for what went wrong. Now, he's more of an old school coach, so maybe he didn't have that relationship with Lamar like a young guy would. He's a lot older than Lamar. It doesn't mean he didn't get along with Lamar, but when you take ownership for it, you take the pressure off the players. You take the pressure off the position coaches. That's what a coordinator does. Ultimately, that's what a head coaching does. Now, it does bother you because this day and age, as I've learned, in my 45 years plus of football, it's usually somewhere in the middle, right? Lamar wasn't right probably, Monken wasn't right probably, but it's probably in the middle, and it really has nothing to do. Maybe they weren't close, but it had nothing to do possibly with their working relationship. I don't know. Lamar is probably my favorite player in the league, or at least in the top 2 or 3, and I thought Monken did a great job of making him better and getting him to be a pocket passer. And I said this to you, not only is Lamar the best runner in the NFL, but now he's a top 10 quarterback from the pocket, which makes him so successful. Todd Monken has a lot to do with that. Lamar Jackson being coachable has a lot to do with that. So, again, Daryl's right, though. Those could be red flags because those are the truth. And I will say this. The non-transparency from the Browns allows all of us to write our own narrative and fill in the blanks for what we think is happening. That doesn't happen if you come out and address things early, and I think that's something the Browns need to do moving forward.